This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
With healthcare costs already at an alarming high in the country, recently ranking number 6 in the world for obesity and overweight people, the end result is often kidney failure, something Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands and Chairman of National Health Insurance Dr. Robin Roberts says can easily be prevented.
When we look at this challenge, we have to aggressively push back. Dr. Robin Roberts talked about a strategy that not only looks at dealing with the problem, but prevention, keeping people well. And so there's a multi-pronged approach that has to be enacted, and it has to be enacted now.
However, Dr. Roberts cautioned that although prevention is key, most times many Bahamians are beyond that point.
The first task of the National Health Insurance team was to say, let us address looking at a comprehensive package of benefits that will provide for both primary care, secondary care, and tertiary care. The current government looked at, the previous government looked at it from the point of view and said, listen, this is far too expensive for us. We are just going to phase this in and we are going to provide primary care. That's not a bad start. But at the end of the day, that's not what the average Bahamian see that they need to have. Because the major issue for the average Bahamian with regards to their health care is how to pay for the disease when they are hospitalized, when they are really sick. They have passed the prevention stage. So we've got to be able to restore health and maintain health.
As to now paying for care, Dr. Roberts says the government must now look at alternative models.
We're going to look at a situation where we as a group of Bahamians must look at a collective payment for our national health insurance. Because at the end of the day, we are looking at what is called equity in healthcare. Those who need care can get the care they need, and those who need more can get more. And so we are looking at addressing first those two issues, that we need to look at a system where we collectively can contribute to paying for national health insurance.
Continued fallout from the government's heavily criticized heads of agreement with U.S.-based oil company Oban Energies, as many citizens and pundits have been highly skeptical of the government's completion of the deal without completing an environmental impact assessment. Today, protesters gathered in Rawson Square to voice their concerns over what they feel is a lack of protection over the country's natural resources. Protester Urban Moxie.
Okay. Well, right now we're here to let the government know that we will not be silent. You know, like the great John F. Kennedy says, evil prevails when good men do absolutely nothing. And we cannot sit down. Even the police officers that are here standing up to say, make sure order is in place, they themselves are even frustrated, you know, with everything that is going on. Look at all the shady deals, everything that is happening. We just won our case in court the other day with the Cabbage Beach tent, and it was not just about fighting for vendors, it was fighting for freedom of access for all Bahamians to all of our beaches here in this Commonwealth.
A second protester, Liban Bannister, saying that Bahamians must overcome their passive spirit and seek answers to important questions.
If you want radical changes, the first thing you do, Bahamas, you burn that statue down. You put gas on that burner down so the police can run out here and lock you up. Well, say, lock up Bannister. Y'all can lock me up for righteousness, but you burn that statue down. They put a whole statue there and a half a statue with some Butler. These things what I don't like. And the Bahamian people are too passive and jellyback. All those people, my party, the F&M fire. You don't think they should be out here today? Standing up for justice?
In crime news, drug-related charges land 2 men and 1 tourist in the hands of police. Authorities say in the first incident, a Bahamian man was on his way to Fort Lauderdale early Wednesday morning when U.S. Border Control officers selected him for a secondary search. A tape package of cocaine was recovered from his pants, while another 2 packages were retrieved from his tennis. The drugs totaled 1 pound. The accused was taken in by drug enforcement officers. Several hours later, around 2 p.m. that same day, Central Division officers arrested a New Yorker in the area of the Prince George Wharf after he was found with marijuana. Both men are expected to be charged soon. Police are hoping to close in on 2 wanted suspects. The duo, captured on surveillance video and photos making the rounds on social media, are wanted for questioning in connection with the recent breaking of a trailer at the Albany Resort in southwestern Providence. Nearly 200 Haitian migrants sent back to their homeland after being charged in a magistrate's court over in Inagua. Authorities confirming that the 184 were flown out early this morning. The Haitians were apprehended this past weekend. Defense Force officers picked up the first group of 100 just before 8 p.m., approximately 20 miles southeast of Greater Inagua. The sighting was made by an Bat helicopter patrolling the southern Bahamas. The second group of 84 migrants were apprehended following a joint interdiction by local law enforcement agencies. The vessel landed on Lantern Head Point near the southeast coast of Greater Nagua on Sunday evening. The migrants were charged with illegal entry into the country before Magistrate Jayan Ferguson Pratt. And a quick check on sports and weather when we return.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.